I would be amiss if I did not consider the condition of my machine and the condition of the current machinery for sale. The thing is that I might have to actually upgrade my machine. It's a worn out 4-year-old 252 stroke. I mean, X amount of dollars to make these tire tracks on my plates go away is maybe not even worthwhile. And then of course, if I go to upgrade, there's the issue of, do I continue with the current program, which we understand the jetting fuel requirements. This is tried and true. This thing runs forever. It'll probably run all year even if I never did anything. So I get another one of these used for about, I don't know, $3,500, $3,800. This thing would sell for 15, 18. So for, a couple $1,000 or whatever, you can do a serious upgrade in machinery. Well, they essentially have frozen the development of this machine. That's the last new engine Yamaha will ever make, is the 252 stroke. And in fact, a lot of manufacturers probably discontinue theirs anytime now, insert year here. But I still think that, basically it's the same bike, it's just an aluminum chassis that weighs about 9 pounds less. 9 pounds is a lot more on a motorcycle than it is on a woman's. Alright? I'm sure of that. You could have 9 pounds in that and you wouldn't even really change your setup that much. The thing is that all my spare wheels are going to work. My silencer, all my air filters, my 2 sets of wheels, and put the bent up ones on the bike I sell, because this one is actually bent from the last time I raced and I crashed in practice. I must have hit a rock or something to make me crash like that, dude, because my front wheel is bent now. And I'm not thinking that crashing in a chuck hole would have bent that wheel that way. I probably hit a boulder or something and busted my properly. And of course, to buy the frame alone or the parts here, because you need the extra. You know what? They might have changed other menial things about it. I mean, small, very small adjustments. Basically, it's a different frame. The suspension components are different. The shock spring is titanium. The shock's a larger shaft diameter. Better components. Still need to be redeveloped. The forks are larger. So these clamps wouldn't work. But I think for an old man, I think that's probably a good bike, to beat those guys, because most men, they want to go out and buy the best thing they get. I don't know if that's necessary when you start thinking about having preparation H in your bathroom drawer. I don't know if you need necessarily 54 horsepower at that time. My pal Thunder, and I will quote the Mighty Thunder on this right here, and there's not a man out there who could argue this point. And Thunder said, there is no such thing as a good deal on a used 450. Carrie, will you run in the back porch and get Daddy the silver tape? Yes.
Ow! Oh. Mom, or Dad, can I ride?
Yes, but stay off of the dirt. You have to ride on what's left of the grass, okay? Don't want a bunch of dust being picked up. You gotta ride easy.
Stop copying me.
Thanks. I'm sorry I called that silver tape like you didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, I know what it is. I know what duct tape is. If you said tape, then I would know what you meant.
I appreciate that.
If you said just tape, it would be clear tape. But if you said duct tape, it would be duct tape.
What if I said silver tape?
It would be duct tape.
What if I said clear tape?
It would be tape.
Did you get him? Find me some bugs, man. Some people have snapdragons. Some people have fly paper. Some people have screens. I have AR. Him is a flying creature-eating dog, aren't you, AR? Go snap all them hornets and flies and all that. Keep them out of here. You do a good job. That's a pretty job for a German Shepherd, and I hope you wouldn't want nobody to know that. But I mean, look at him, G. He doesn't exactly look very threatening. We have to let this out to the other countries, the Western Hemisphere, and let them know that there are still people who ride two strokes. You see, it's been relegated to somewhat of a guerrilla activity, and nobody really does this anymore. And we won't talk of this out in public. You will not tell people, you know, my dad rides a two-stroke. This is like a subversive. This is like a guerrilla type of activity, riding a two-stroke. You blow smoke, you make noise, and the people who sip their tea and eat their baguettes will probably eat you. This whole motorcycle can take some hours. Not even rebuilding the whole motorcycle, it's patching it together. Dang, Larry's rolling out. Larry, you rolling out the poop over there? For shame, man. You should be management at any big corporation. Good job, Larry, I guess. In light of your excellent performance, we're going to give you a raise, and we want you to fire some people. Go fire my kids. Japanese horsepower!
It's a 6-race series. The best 5 races count. If you finish first, you get 25 points. If you finish second, you get 22 points. If you finish third, you get 20. Yo! Yo, 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 my home, that's yo.
First round of the series, I wasn't really sure about how deep I could run it in and not have the machine stall, but I knew I wanted the inside gate at Strawberry Hills always. They combined us up with the 30 B and C class, which I whined like an old toothless goat to try to get us to have the second drop of the gate, and they wouldn't do it. So the best way to save your tear-offs is to win the 30B class at the same time. So the track was really wet. This guy always waters the track a lot. I understand that now. I still have to say that it really cuts down on the choice of lines that we have. And I was kind of struggling a little bit here after practice. I really felt like I wanted to just go home and take a nap. You always get to pick your gate based on your first moto finish, so I love that inside gate. because I don't have anyone on my inside that I have to beat. I think that's very important at all these tracks with a tight 180 first corner. This first corner actually has kind of two apexes to it, and as you can see, I'm kind of stabbing the front end around. Not real fluid there, not jumping down that hill all the way, which later in the year became a necessity. But you can see the course has dried out a little bit, but we're still running intermediate tires. And at this point in the game, after the first moto, you know, I understand that probably nobody's going to come and get me unless I actually just throw it on the floor like a trout, a rotting trout. So basically just try to stay smooth. And these motos are only 4 laps long at Strawberry Hills, which I would prefer a longer moto myself, because you just get out there and get in, moving into your rhythm good, and you know, next thing you know, there's the white flag. But I guess when you're out there winning, you want it to be over as fast as possible. I'm on autopilot right here, and it looks like I could stop and crochet in these corners, and probably could. Somebody's grandma could. So basically, these are the only really airtime spots on the track, and it's a very safe track. I recommend this, you know, sort of way to make a track for a lot of folks, because I don't think the ambulance hardly ever got used. Bruce and I had been training hard the night before this event. I knew that I wanted to be hydrated because the day was going to be in the high 90s, but I chose the wrong fluid.
Number 99 is Ronnie Petticott, Taylor's. Well, he can be Petticoat too. That's Petticott.
Now this would be like the second moto hole shot, I believe. Once again, we had the 30B class running out ahead of us, so automatically I'm in the traffic within, you know, a lap or so. I'm in traffic, and it's not really good. You can see this guy hounded me here, this Jerry Woldmuth, and this guy is, I guess, the big dog up that way, and the man rides very well on a rough track, and I'd really like to race with him again. I've had a good time, and you can see that he's all over me right there. And I'm just trying to kind of set a pace. Once again, this is the second event, and I'm kind of getting a little better from the previous week as far as just time on the bike. But it's a very hot day and a very rough track, actually. This track exposed the shortcomings of stock suspension, which if I raced on tracks like this every week, I'd have to send this stuff off the crown and get it fixed right. Bike's a little bit soft. I had to kind of slow down a little bit on some of these tabletops because I could feel it blowing through the stroke on the front end on the face of the jump. But basically, dawdled around and stay passing these 30B guys. Whoops, daisy there, pumpkin. And just passing these guys as safely as possible. These guys are in a different class, but they don't know that, and they think I'm racing them, so you see that guy doesn't even do the double. So I'm trying to get through these guys and preserve my race while I'm under pressure from this man. And it really changes the whole aspect. I would prefer that they just let us all go at once. The effects of dehydration are seen here.
They wanted the tracks a lot down here in South Carolina. So that's why I told Dad to use the new Bridgestone M102 mud tire in the first motor. So you go back to the regular tire in the second motor.
Round 3, we came back to Strawberry Hills, and I've been doing a little bit of practice, and once again I get that inside gate. You see this fella on my left here, Daryl, on the KTM. The guy used to be a big dog, and still is as far as I'm concerned. The guy's a good rider. I knew after practice how fast I watched him go in practice, and I had on my new Santa Claus studs, and I figure anybody that would dress this way should at least either win or lose by long ways. You can see I'm lollygagging down that downhill again. There's a lapper laying in the mud like a worm, which we've all done a few times. Like I say, basically, just getting a little more time on the bike, and it felt pretty good in the first moto. I could check them right away. I got the track down. I know it's a 4-lap routine, and just trying to stay on 2 wheels and clear these jumps clean and stay out of everybody's way. You know, you can see without traffic that, you know, you can make a textbook landing on all those. That was an easy first moto. You want to look back and see just where everybody was at there. Second moto here, somebody lit a fire underneath the Darrell's saddle because we come out of the gate here and you can see they let us go first, which I like a lot. There's only 5 or 6 of us old dogs. The 30B went after us. So I took off and thought I had her made. Figured all I'm going to do is go out here, put it on autopilot, and just ride around the track in my ridiculous Santa Claus suit. You can see I've gapped him a little bit from the first lap. I figure I'm home free. Had some good lines and didn't really feel any pressure at this point. And then we start coming into traffic, and this guy on this 25-year-old Honda, I can't believe that thing even runs. And right away we start getting into traffic as the white flag comes out, and I can see that I'm now lapping the 30B class, and these guys are in my way. And now I have a problem. He jumps down the hill, and look at there. Couldn't believe it. Could not even believe it. But then I squirted on, shoot through those guys like a flea through Larry's collar. And I know the race is on. You can see he's experienced. He goes out when I go in, and I go in when he goes out. And I cut him up right here and basically close the door, but I know that he's breathing on me hard. But I'm figuring as long as we don't get in any more traffic, that I should be free. And at this point right here, when you're dealing with lappers, you want to look ahead and try to pick the best spot on the track to come up on a lapper. So what you'll actually do is slow down a little bit, and then here I run into this guy at the very end, and almost looks like the same guy. The guy here is taking a nap because he's waving the white flag when the checker's out. And I was going to go another lap, but they rounded me off. When the flag is flying, what you'll do is that it's a mentality that you will not accept that type of degradation from another human being. All right, you played this out in your mind at least 100 times. All right, you've done all the things you can do. You've turned the square edges around in the way they should go, and you will do whatever it takes. I believe you will do whatever it takes. You know what makes my drag is that they will pay no one, and yet they will have all these classes. They can allow everybody's donut catcher to hold a folder. And I don't think that's right. I think that they should have a manly man's class where they pay you the price that it would take to buy a case of beer. And you will go out there and you will dig in deep and you all will sweat. Some of you will bleed. All of you will puke. And you will do her up. And you will play that off. And you will have $100. Because I think without that, it's not racing proper. Because racing is a whole daredevil thing. It's like James Dean. You look at when, I mean, it's not like I'm from Invercargill, all right? Not like I'm from there. But if I was, I would show up and ask them to do a race and let the man who wins win the $100 to Ben Franklin 520. All right, skibby. Which, by the way, my daughters have pointed out, I spend one of those a day buying food for Larry. Okay? There's very few solutions to the problems we have that do not revolve around the realization that we are lesser men. We don't really have too many things most other people want, Bruce, other than my dog. We do not have eloquence. We do not have speech. We do not have manners. We have manners. Carol? Coming up to Cathy's Creek, I had a hard race there last year with a guy, and I wasn't feeling real good about this track. The guy got hurt real bad before the start of this moto, and when they turned us loose, I just still was thinking he got hurt right here. The guy broke his pelvis and broke some bones. I say I knew the field at this point, and I knew that if I just stayed smooth, that jump all these jumps on the first lap and stay smooth as possible, that the bike worked really good on this track. This is not a bumpy course. The only course bumpy would have been round 2. So basically, just to get through these things and not look too much like a dawdling old tortoise. The tight corners and everything suit me well. I like that type of stuff, you know. I actually played a little safer on a lot of these areas this course than I probably should have. I got to imagine a greater man than me would have got much better air there and jumped that whole thing. But once again, you know, when you're looking back and you see that you're running, you know, 5-10 seconds out, you're just going to coast, you know. There's a lot of people hurt here on this day. I couldn't really believe it. This jump right here claimed several victims. Doesn't really look like much, but the face was actually too steep. And I heard a lot of complaining about that jump afterwards. That, you know, a little kid got hurt on it. And like I say, once you get out there, all you got to do is just ride around and, you know, not make too many terrible mistakes. Wearing a Santa Claus suit. And, they put the right amount of water. It was really, I really liked the track preparation here, even though the surface was very hard packed. You can see Bradley and the cat on the Honda putting in a spirited chase there, but I felt as long as I didn't make any big mistakes, this would be pretty easy too. And, they ran this funny here. They had a different format where the first moto was a quote-unquote qualifier, 3 laps, and the second moto was a 5-lap main. So this win right here meant nothing more than gate pick, which I believe motocross should be motocross. So this moto is the moto that actually determines the whole day. This cat on the outside blazing in there hot, he cracks me up. The guy, I saw him out of my peripheral, but I figured I'd just stay on the inside. And he actually, I think that guy ended up getting second at the end of the event there, which would have been good for second. There's no overall here, so it's like a Supercross main event. First is first, and ninth is ninth, or in this case, sixth or whatever. And it's getting a little dusty by now. It's pretty warm this day too, you know. By this point, I think we figured out that I had the sag on the machine all wrong. And I was running about 105 mil sag like a dummy. I guess I measured my sag with a yardstick or something. Get into lappers in the 30B class here again, as usual. And nice bunch of guys. I know most of them. Talked to a lot of these guys, but they don't know who this is. This guy thinks he's going to get past, you know. And I'm just trying to tippy-toe by him and not mess up my race, you know. It's amazing how fast the guy gets once you lap him. I've always amazed me, even when I've been lapped, you know. It's like, hey, what are you doing that to me, you know? The guy suddenly gets brave and wants to, you know, get on it. You know, a little late for that. It was 5 laps, and I was very surprised that 5 laps went as fast as it did, because I was having a good time just riding around on the bike. Everything was really easy, and next thing I know, I don't even think I saw the white flag. I think it really shocked me that the checkers come out when they did, you know. See, I don't jump this because there's buddy Dave kicking his bike for the umpteenth time. Probably, you know, the Yamahas are, you know, they stall. They might not start until next Tuesday. I choked on an anchovy right now, and don't know quite what that was about. I guess I missed the gear there, you know. Big old gunboat feet, you know. That was, I think that was on the last lap too, so that was kind of probably the most exciting thing I did all day, you know. And I look over there, because I said I forgot that it was the last lap, and just I was having a good time them first 3-4 laps, not making mistakes. And so when you win, you just roll over the line and go get a beer.
Well, I'll tell you, it's getting dark earlier and earlier. All right, I lost my mouse now. That's a dog jumping off the here. Tears my up. I just want to kill him sometimes. He's so hyper. He actually run a little bit of the out of him. He may become a better hound. You know, we are in the heart of the South, and this is where the Civil War started, as most people know. And I do love it down here, but I will say, I've been to the north. I've seen these people. They live in cold climates. They're not an intemperate lot. They start something. I reckon they aim to finish it. So we're going to go one more time this weekend. What I have here is a fine specimen of a baby rat. Notice he is about half the size of the other one we caught. It's about that long. That one was so big, I'm surprised this small puny trap actually sent him to the hereafter, the rat Valhalla. But as you can see by his squinty rat eyes, he's like, whoa, I'm so hot.
You know what? That's why my dad said, always stay close to your mother. That's something bad will happen to you.
Especially if you're a rat in this garage, right, Modus?
I practiced a lot and trained a lot coming into this because I figured Daryl was going to be a lot faster than he was the previous race. I knew he'd be there, and you can see he jumps right out in second. Check this cat on the Suzuki. So Mark Cipher, I believe. The guy really, to me, impresses me. He's a big man, but he rides with a lot of skill. He led the 30A class for a couple laps before it looked like he got tired. But you can see I'm getting on a little hard this time. I've had a lot of time on the bike at this point through the week. And felt really good. Probably stayed out of the sauce the night before the race. You see jumping all the way down that hill. Bike's twitching a little coming in that corner, but it's no big deal. I had to have it set up that way so it would corner. You just learn to live with it. It's a low-speed course anyway. And you can see he doesn't have the amount of water now that he did the first couple times we were there. And it suited me good. I felt good on this day. And there's Bradley after a first corner mishap. He has gas off, I believe. Sorry, man. And, but he got out of the way knowing that, he didn't want to interfere with the race as a good sportsman would. This is the gentleman's class, by the way. We are all gentlemen, ostensibly. And just run around. I was surprised, that Daryl did not show the fire that he showed at that round 3. And it's pretty much easy ride, the traffic wasn't there, and it's an easy ride. Second moto here, I guess I'm napping, because you can see Cipher lined up inside of me. I didn't take that inside gate even though I had it. And there I am in third place. Well, for a second. And at that point, once again, I know that they're right there, and I tried to lean into it as hard as I could. You see getting all the way down that hill now, knowing I'm under pressure. I wanted to really push hard and try to break the gap, knowing it's a short moto that you can establish what's going to happen. You see the inside there is really wet in that corner, and I'd run that inside. Had good tires too. That 756 I started using at this point. Worked really good. I think I'll use that next year. And over clean. On this day, I had them covered on this day. It wasn't like the times before that I won by just being there. And get all the way down that hill finally, because once he did that to me that other time, I wasn't going to let that happen again. I think maybe being a little drier helped me out. This Carolina clay, when it's wet, you really can't tell here, but it's a different consistency. It's not like the mud we would get used to up north. It's kind of greasy. And, like I say, the 4-stroke really works good, but I kind of still miss my L2 smoker. And run over these jumps and swore that if I won here, I'd probably stay home for round 6 and hang out and watch whatever the kids had on TV. So here we're on the last lap. You can see that, I've gapped him good this time. Like I say, he changed his bike around a little bit, he told me. And you can see we run either the full inside or outside of the course to miss the wet spots. And I've been out here practicing on open practice with my buddy from work, Mark. And I had some lines developed that I didn't have the first couple times. And I had a little bit to spare if it was necessary. And there it was. Good race, man. These guys are good sports. Everybody yucks it up.
The Carolina Cup, of course, is a beautiful trophy as a keeper. I'm sure all you parents are proud of your children, and I'd like to thank all the parents that are here for all the sacrifices that you have made for your kids to run in this series. I know a lot of you have gotten up very early in the morning on Saturday morning, 5 o'clock, to be here for these races, and I hope it was rewarding for you and your child. I'd like to quote Evel Knievel, who, as you know, passed away this past Friday, and he said, he made the statement, you can fall many times in life, but you are never a failure as long as you try to get up. And I think this holds true, and I'm sure that all of you that suffered defeat in the Carolina Cup Series will be back next year to try again and win that first place cup. So without any further comments, let's give out these cups. Okay, 45 plus, Ronnie Pendecoff was the winner of the Carolina Cup. Second place in 45 plus, again, Bradley Thomas. Give him a big hand. Third place in 45 plus is Max Siren.
It's been a long year. Me and Larry have put a lot of effort into this. And I'm tired of it. It's over. It's number one again. Those old boys showed up. I appreciate their participation. Otherwise, I would be a loser. So with that said, we're going to let this thing rest for a while and maybe do this again next year. Dude, the sound is working.